What's up, everybody? Welcome to Solana Weekly. This is your host, Thomas, and I want to thank you for joining in. Let's take a dive into the latest trends, use cases, and hear from the people behind the incredible growth of the Solana ecosystem. None of this is financial advice, but I'm hoping that all of it is alpha. Now let's get to the show. I am super excited to welcome Matias from AssetDash to the show. They have built out my favorite portfolio tracker that I've been using way too much lately. And I think with this current bull market and what we're seeing right now, that this is the perfect time to hear more about this and hear a lot about what else they're actually building in the space. I know that they've been iterating and breaking out some new products. So I'm super excited to talk to you. Matias, welcome to the show.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, good time to have you on the show. It's hard to keep my mind off of your product right now, keep my mind off the portfolio, trying to keep up with the space, you know?
Been a busy few weeks for sure. I think it's gonna
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah, I can only imagine, right? So the bull market is a great time to be in the business of tracking portfolios, and I'd love to hear what you guys have been up to, what your experience has been these last couple of weeks as things have been ramping up, and just hear you guys' story.
yeah, definitely. So I guess over the past I would say 2 or 3 months, there's been two key releases. So one was we released token trading natively and optimized in the app, Solana token trading. That was very well received and it's continuing to grow. I think a few key benefits to trading tokens on AssetDash is one, you already have your entire portfolio there, right? So I think that's just a natural next step. Uh, all the trading is routed through Jupiter. We have the
Mhm.
same exact quotes as Jupiter. Every time you trade with us, you earn AssetDash Gold, which is like our version of Amex points. You can use that gold to go into a marketplace and buy. You can convert it directly for cryptos. You can convert it for NFTs, or the most popular choice is our loot boxes. So we have tons of loot boxes live in app. You can use your gold to open a loot box, and every loot box is guaranteed win, which is the best part. So there's no empty loot boxes. When you actually click a loot box, it shows you the minimum that you'll win and the maximum. So the range is
Okay.
normally, minimum is normally like 5 to 10, and then max is normally around like 200 to 500. But once a week, we'll have a box that has a max, close to 1,000, and a min that's 10 to 25. So people love it. You can just go in there, keep an eye on the boxes. And I think another great thing about our trading is on AssetDash with our trading, you'll never pay more than $1 in trading fees, which I think is very competitive. So for context, most of the bots and terminals and trading platforms, wallets, so on and so forth, they take around 1%. So if you were to do a $10,000 trade there, it would be $100 fee, where on our platform it's $1. So
Really?
yeah, so our mobile token trading is, I think it's great. I do most of my trading there now, and so does many of our users. That was in September where we released that upgrade, which was the gold, the optimized mobile token trading, and the $1 fees. And then at the end of October, we released Whale Watch, and that's been a huge hit. Quick headline is it allows you to track what meme coin whales are buying and selling in real time. And it's a fantastic tool for discovering alpha, and I'm sure we'll dive into it later.
Yeah, yeah. I when I reached out to you, I was like, all right, I want to hear about Asset Dash. And you're like, no, 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 no. We need to talk about whale watching because I didn't even really fully understand what it was. And since you told me about it yesterday, I've been hooked on it. So I've been watching it. It's just a feed of what's going on, what you guys are classifying as whales, essentially what they're doing, right? And I'd love to get into kind of what goes into that because I feel like there's a pretty unique to crypto set of information that you guys are able to pull, right? Because everything's available in public on the blockchain that you guys can pull all that data in, you guys can analyze it, and then you guys can show that on the feed, right? So basically you guys are giving people like exactly what they want when they're coming to this space, right? Because it's you never know what you're going to see. Like if you get your information from Twitter, you never know whether people are being deceptive or not, but you're seeing like when people are actually buying coins, when they're selling coins directly in real time, right?
For sure. So I think first and foremost, it's an amazing tool for discovery.
Yeah.
And I think you mentioned a really great point there. You know, people can say whatever they want on Twitter, but what somebody is actually buying or what somebody is actually selling is a really strong signal. So the feature is very straightforward. It's a live feed of what whales and select meme coin communities are buying and selling. We have filters, so you could filter by, only show me new tokens they're buying, only show me tokens that appear on Whale Watch for the first time, only show me tokens that they're buying that are under $50 million market cap, under $10 million market cap, so on and so forth. So you could basically create filters that suit you.
Mhm.
You can also do those same filters by whales. So you could track all of the whales communities that we track, or you could just say, I only want to see chill guy whales, or I only want to see retardio and giga whales, right? So what's really cool is like with the filtering system, people are really coming up with their own strategies as to what works best for them. And there's countless success stories. Like I would say a good part of our customer support messages now, which is an amazing thing, is literally people just telling us thank you. So I love that. But people are just literally saying that this has completely leveled up my meme coin trading game. I've never, been sharper in this market, and it's entirely because you've released this tool. And I think it makes a lot of sense. I think one, you have 20,000 new tokens that launch every single day in this space.
It's
And
too, it's way too much.
way too much.
You can't track it. There's no way. And, if you're, no matter what platform you look at, it's too much. Like, so you have to be able to filter it down. And the tools that you guys provide are amazing for it.
For sure. So I agree with you. It's overwhelming. So it's hard to be successful when you literally need to keep tabs on every new launch that's happening every second. It's impossible. The
Yeah.
second thing is what it does a really good job of is creating signal from the noise. And I think that is the first immediate benefit from it, right? So if you just want to take it from you sign up, you start using Whale Watch day one, the first thing that's going to happen is every coin you see there, one of the top players in the space, if it shows up on Whale Watch, is interacting with it. Now you can do whatever you want with that information. And I think that's what's so cool about the features. People are positioning Whale Watch in a way that works best for their trading.
Yeah.
So you have people who are using it specifically to snipe early coins, right? So if they see a coin under 1 million that a whale buys, they're taking shots at those coins, right? And I think that's a really interesting approach. I use it somewhat differently. The way I've been using it, and it's been huge for me, is I like to trade more of those mid cap coins.
Mhm.
And when I do trade those coins, like I kind of look for it after it has like that first or second initial retrace, right? And for me, what ends up being one of the strong indicators is if the coin has retraced, X amount. A perfect example of this is Chill Guy yesterday, right? So yesterday, Chill Guy shot up to like 300 million and then retraced down to 167, right?
Yeah.
And at 167 is when I started to see like heavy whale watch signals of whales coming in like in big size at that level, like repeatedly. And we have custom notifications as well. So one of our custom notifications that you can turn on is notify me if multiple whales buy the same coin in a 5-minute interval. So I was seeing
Oh, really?
tons of alerts firing on Chill Guy there, went in, bought in with decent size, and then, woke up this morning, it was over 400 million, right?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think, yeah, and I think what's cool about it is you take whatever is your trading style that you prefer to do, but whatever it is, Whale Watch is going to make it better. And that's one of
Yeah.
the things I love most about the feature.
Yeah, so I actually got in on Chill Guy yesterday too because I mean I was blown away because you're seeing the amounts that people are actually putting into it. And I was just seeing people throwing in 5K clips. I was like, all right, all these people are buying this. They know something. So I was like, I'm trying this out. I bought it and it went way up, right? So I feel like that was I mean, obviously my first attempt of it, but it was a great result. So it just worked. And there's kind of two parts to it too, right? So you guys are providing the signal directly in the app and you can buy it by swiping to the right, right? Like the whole overall experience is very easy.
Yeah, and I think that's thank you for bringing that up. That's one of the best parts about it is directly from the Whale Watch feed. When you see a whale has bought a coin, you can literally just swipe to the right and quick buy it.
Yeah.
Um, And I think that's also like a really incredible feature because it allows you to get in ASAP. And then the other thing with the whale watch that I've started to notice over time, and it makes a lot of sense, and I'm happy we're doing this, this entire feature because of this purpose, is a lot of the meme coin trading. I think a lot of the value comes from these alpha chats that are
Yeah,
very exclusive.
yeah,
The average participant does not have access to, but these whales are in those chats. And I think what's cool about Whale Watch is it democratizes the access to this information in a indirect way where, yeah, you may not be in that group chat, but when that whale makes a move on that coin, you're getting notified in AssetDash and you can move quickly after.
yeah.
So I think this is a really powerful feature, and I'm really happy that it's helping people uh, have more success stories. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, not only are you getting the benefit of, seeing what they're doing in the alpha chat, but like you're seeing the amounts that they're moving into it, right? Like it's a lot of like incomplete information. Like I'm in a couple chats and someone will drop in a ticker and like you don't necessarily know if they've already bought and they're looking to kind of dump it on you. Like there's definitely like some predatory actors out there. So and I mean a lot of the time people are gonna make their purchases and then tweet it out, right? So it's almost like there's no good way to pull information off of Twitter or like public spaces, right? It's a good indication for, kind of like public mind share for a lot of it, but to actually see what people are doing, like this is the takes you like right to the source, right?
100%. And I think that's one of the things that uh, is going to help people, moving forward is we're basically moving into a new phase in the market where things are only going to get louder, louder,
Yeah.
louder, more aggressive, more coin launches, and it's going to be more difficult every day to keep up. And I think that's what I is so nice about Whale Watch is it really just like simplifies that view for you.
Definitely. Definitely. So let's take this kind of like from the beginning. Let's say that a brand new entrant into the space is coming onto Solana. They want to buy a meme coin. Like, I feel like the onboarding process, it's pretty easy these days, right? I feel like getting from 0 to 1, like it's pretty easy, right? You can go into Phantom and you can buy through 20 different options to get money into crypto. But a new entrant that comes in, they get their wallet. I mean, it's pretty hard to figure out where to go next, right? You go in your Phantom wallet, you go to Jupiter, a lot of your transactions might not go through. You might look for one ticker and see 20. There is kind of a lot of friction on that side. So say somebody comes in and they want to buy Chill Guy, they could go like directly to AssetDash or directly into Whale Watcher. First of all, see what coins are actually being bought. They can go look at some details about the coin in there. And then they can actually make the transaction directly on AssetDash, right? So I feel like it kind of has a lot of the parts that I think are like some of the toughest for somebody that's fresh to the space. Is that is that kind of do you guys kind of see that too?
Yeah, no, I definitely think AssetDash is a great, first app for somebody coming into crypto. You have the ability to track your entire portfolio. You could trade, you could discover new tokens. We have the whole rewards mechanism with the gold and the loot boxes. It's really fun and gamified. So that's
Yeah.
where we're going with the app. And I think back to Whale Watch specifically, if you take a new participant, it's very overwhelming. It's, you come in and, well, what do I buy? Right. And I think
Yeah.
Whale Watch can help simplify that for a new participant where it's like, look, you may be new, you may not be super tapped into crypto Twitter. But at least here's like a list of coins that people who are successful in this space are buying, it's worth you looking into it, right? And
Yeah.
that's like a nice progression for a new user.
Yeah, I definitely think so. And on top of that, you guys actually have really good customer service. So this was something that I've actually used your customer service quite a bit. And I feel like it's kind of unique for a Web3 service to like actually have good customer support. Like I can get somebody to chat back with me, like I don't maybe even you a couple times
Yeah.
have gotten back to me and it doesn't take that long. Like I think you guys have an AI bot in there that'll originally like answer a couple questions, but if it's something big or if something's missing in my portfolio or something, somebody's on top of it pretty quick. It's a good experience.
I really appreciate that. That's awesome to hear. We do prioritize that. So Monday through Friday, we have 24/5 coverage. So around the clock coverage Monday through Friday.
Right.
And then on the weekends, we have about, I would say, 12 hours of coverage, Saturday and Sundays. So that's super important to us. One, we really, really value our members. Like we build this product for all of you. It's our core focus is literally to make you guys happy. So we want to ensure that if at any time of the day you have a question or you want us to fix something or you're confused about something, we have a human there to answer. So we do have the AI bot that's always there. And then, as I said, Monday through Friday, 24 hours a day, there is a human there as well with the AI bot. And that's really important to us. And I think what we're seeing now is a lot of new people coming into the space, right? Who are asking, really simple questions like, what's a private key? How do
Yeah.
I how do I send Solana to my wallet? Stuff like that. So it's almost like an onboard concierge of sorts, right? And I think that's really important for us. And it's one of the reasons why we prioritize that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think it's extremely valuable. I mean, crypto's kind of always been the Wild West, right? Where it's like you're kind of on your own, you got to hold your keys, you're responsible for it all. But I mean, there isn't like a simple manual, and if even if there was, it wouldn't be updated with the best and the latest thing to be doing. So that I mean, I feel like it's needed, and it's a great service. Um,
Appreciate that.
and something else that you mentioned, so you mentioned $1 trading fees. So Solana is the fast and cheap chain, right? And historically, transactions are like, I don't know, what is it, like 0.005 cents or something like that. But I mean, that's not the case right now at all. $1 trading fees is pretty cheap. Like if like I use Bullocks a lot for a lot of these tradings, and I think gas is like, $10 on some of these trades to make sure that they're actually going through and you're getting like your priority to get them in there. So I mean, I'm seeing that plus there's slippage on top of that, right? So it's you're getting your transaction in, but there's thousands of other people that are trying to get that same transaction in. So you have to juice that in order to get them to go. So a $1 trading fee is amazing, actually.
Yeah. So to provide clarity there and not even singling out Bullocks because you just brought them up, but just Bullocks and many other platforms have this model. So they take 1% fee on your trade, and that doesn't include the priority fee, and it doesn't include the MEV protection or Jito tip or anything like that, right? So, if the trade's $1,000, right, they're going to take their $10 and then the additional fees to make it land on chain.
Yeah.
What we do in our case is we only take $1 as our fee, and then there's still the additional either Jito tip or priority fee that's included to make sure that the transaction lands. So our max fee that we take is $1. In many cases, it's below $1. So I think it's really competitive. I do think Solana is like this fast, cheap chain, and it's a great thing. And I think that's what appeals to a lot of people. And what's interesting is we've kind of moved into this dynamic in the trading market where these platforms do have like relatively high fees, right? So it's not like you're paying the Solana gas fees and that's adding up. What's really adding up, I think, for a lot of users is the trading fees on these platforms where it's $10 here, it's $5 here, it's $20 here, and you're in and out of trades, and over time that's adding up to thousands and thousands of dollars, right? So I think for
Yeah.
us to have like a really clear model where users are well aware that they're never paying more than $1 in trading fees is awesome, and
Yeah.
people really like it. And what we want to do is like build this product for the masses, right? I think that's super important to us where it doesn't matter if you're trading, $50 or $100,000, right? We want to make sure that the platform makes sense for all types of users. So yeah, we're really excited about that offering. And we're constantly like working to get it better where now our priority fees and our Jito tips are dynamic. So like it's based on like real-time market dynamics. We also have a cap on them as well. So if things spike like crazy, you're not going to get charged like $5, $10, for example. But yeah, I think it's in a really good spot with our fee model compared to the rest of the market. And I think our members really appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it seems like it's a great model for, kind of weathering through this like particular time where, I mean, it's meme coins, it's trading, and everybody's trying to get access to it, so they're willing to pay a little bit more. Um, I guess when we talk about, $5, $10 for a trade, that sounds expensive. But when I originally came over to Solana, I came over from ETH during DeFi summer, where to get out of some of these trades, you were paying 100, 200, $300 in order to get a transaction through to sell any of these meme coins to get out of any sort of DeFi position. So, relatively speaking, it's actually not that much, right? But when you're in and out of 100 trades and you're paying $10 each trade, that's it's $1,000, right?
Yeah, yeah, and I think what's different, uh, with at least with Tate, I don't know exactly if this happened specifically on ETH during DeFi summer, because I remember at that time I was just using Uniswap, so you were just paying the pool fees. Um, but I think what's interesting on Solana is that it's so fast and it's become the trading venue
Yeah,
across it, that a lot of these like terminal and bots have opened up and they offer a great service. And since they offer a great service, it's expensive.
yeah,
What we want to do on our side is offer a great service as well, which I believe we do, but keep it very affordable. And I think that's
yeah,
what we like cap on those fees. And yeah, as I said, like people really seem to like them. And at the end of the day, is we want to make this a model that works for everybody. And I think that that fee model does work and people do seem to like it. So
yeah, yeah. And one thing that you guys actually do with AssetDash is you guys cover like pretty much every chain on there, right? So that's like my favorite part of it is I was able to bring over, all my ETH wallets with all my L2s, some Bitcoin wallets, and it tracked, everything, even like ordinals wallets and everything. Um, is that, do you guys see any like future where you're playing on other chains at all, or are you guys just strictly Solana focused?
yeah, so as you had mentioned, for portfolio tracking, we are fully multi-chain.
Yeah.
So if you have assets on another chain, there's a high likelihood that we support it. Uh, EVM, layer twos, Sol, Sui, ordinals, runes. So we got everything covered, and that's across all of them. It's NFTs, tokens, and DeFi, which I think is great.
Oh yeah.
People want that. We definitely will expand our transactional features to other chains. But right now our core focus is Solana because there's just so many great things happening on Solana. It's an amazing community, so many great builders. So we've made that our number one focus. But naturally over time we will expand that.
Yeah. Yeah. How you just mentioned that the ecosystem, the developers, the builders, they're all like a great community. And it's great to see that like that's where everybody's coming to, right? Like I feel like retail's coming, they're coming onto Solana and it's like, wow, all these platforms are that we've seen grow from, when you guys were an NFT project, was it Vanta was originally, then Elementals, and
Yeah.
then so I mean to see kind of I don't know, to see all these different protocols thrive and everybody coming to them seems amazing. Like I'm loving it.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, you know, Solana really is living up to the vision. And I think the building community on Solana is fantastic. All the hackathons, it's just there's constant development and new features and products coming out. So yeah, it's a great place to be building. And on the elements thing, I also wanted to say, if you have an element, not only do you get faster portfolio tracking, but you get a 2x boost on your gold distributed on every swap. So that's another, very unique perk to having the Element NFT. But yeah, it's been really impressive to see Solana grow from, when we launched, it was mostly like an NFT focused chain. And now
Yeah.
it's a vibrant, DeFi ecosystem. And then of course, like the home to like all meme coin trading.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you guys, yeah, so I had the Vanta, I had the Element, and then I was like, all right, like it's such a good portfolio tracker. I probably check it a couple times a day, and I don't even know for like a really long time. So it's a fantastic product that's worth checking out. And one of the things, when you guys brought on, all chains, I just kind of started putting in all my old wallets, and I just started finding money that was like tucked away in like obscure DeFi protocols from like 2019. I had to figure out what chain it was and how to even get through it. So if you're going to be, in crypto, you got to track your money. And I feel like this is like such a great tool, right?
Yeah, one of the biggest feedback points we get from new users when they sign up is I found money I forgot about, which is
Yeah.
a great feature and it makes sense. Especially when you're, in the trenches and you're jumping in and out of pools, buying NFTs, bidding on NFTs, and you're just doing a ton of things on chain. It's very easy to forget, like, oh, I put X amount of money over here, like a few years
Yeah.
ago. So we constantly hear that from users, constantly. I actually had a user who I'm not going to name to keep them private, but actually a popular person in the space DM'd me and they were like, I found 80K when I signed up to AssetDash because I literally completely forgot that I had all this money on this particular pool.
Oh,
Um,
no way.
so it's great. It's honestly an amazing feature, and I agree with you. One of the best benefits for me is I'm constantly doing stuff on chain like Meteora, MarginFi, so on and so forth, and sometimes you're in and out of positions and you'll literally forget that you have a position open and then thankfully you have assets to remind you, right? So
Oh, yeah.
I think that's actually one of the core features, especially as people start doing more and more stuff on chain. You kind of need that organizational component, and I think AssetDash provides that.
I think it definitely does. So in a way, like what Asset Dash was doing was basically like aggregating all of that data, like for each user, right? So it was pulling in your all tokens, all DeFi, all NFTs. And then what it seems like Whale Watch is doing is almost like a layer on top of that, where it's like, all right, now we have all this data. Like what can we do with it? What else are we able to really do? And it seems like you're able to like really build a lot of value out of what you guys were essentially doing by putting some really good filters on it, figuring out like, all right, what's going to be important? What are people looking for? And it seems like you were able to really make like a really good transition there, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think we've always wanted to have a feature in the app that was focused on discovery.
Uh-huh.
Whale Watch became that feature for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's like I wonder where that goes, right? Because I mean I feel like you guys have the pipelines. It's at
Yeah,
least it seems like it's all there, and it's like this is what's hot right now. Like you guys killed it with NFTs, you're killing it with meme coins. It's like I don't even know what's going to be next, right?
yeah.
It's
I think for us, like right now, thankfully, we're in a spot where we have product market fit, which I'm super appreciative and will never take for granted. I think since we do have that, the key thing is making what our members love 100 times better. So
yeah,
that's the focus right now is just continuing to double and triple down on what our members love, and they're very clear with us about what they like, and we want to make sure that that experience is perfect.
yeah. Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of like what I love about crypto, and especially like what I loved about Solana when I came to it was like you have access to developers and everything's moving super quick, right? Like you're seeing people like build in public, like respond immediately to like client feedback or customer feedback or user feedback and build out what people want. So it's like you guys were able to see what's going on in the market and adapt and move it to what people wanted, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think everyone needs resources, especially in this market, to help them find what could be the next big thing. And I think Whale Watch has basically executed on that to a certain extent, and it's only going to get better. But right now, what's crazy is every single day we're seeing members on the app, hit 10x, 20x, 30x, trades directly from Whale Watch.
Yeah.
I think that's only going to continue to accelerate.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, with how many tokens that are being created each day, it's insane. And I mean, when a token hits and there is a ton of volume, like we're seeing $400 million coins in a day or two. It's unheard of. Like I don't even know how to describe it. It's crazy.
Let me see where Chill Guy is at now. So Chill Guy was mind blowing for me because not only did it, so it's at 400 million market cap now. The high of the day was like almost 600 million, but what's crazy, 85,000 holders.
Wait, 85,000?
85,000 holders.
Wait, how many days old is this coin? This is a couple
So
days.
yeah, I think it can't be more than a week. What is it? It's no, it's one, two. So it launched actually October 6th, which is surprising, but it literally just like didn't trade.
Huh.
Um, and then the trading for kicked off on November 17th. That's when it actually started like moving a little bit.
So
Um,
went from like 0 to 600 million in under 3 days.
yes. Yeah. So, and I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of those. And what's interesting is how, meme coins are a really unique tool that do appeal to non-crypto natives. And I think this chill guy is literally a perfect example of that.
Oh yeah, it's. I mean, we've been seeing it more and more where new coin launches, and I miss it. I don't know where people are coming together. A lot of the newer ones are kind of coming from like TikTok memes or different like obscure AI agents, right? Like so, it's different areas. They're coming together, and they're all coming together on Solana. So it's fun to just like keep up with it, but it's hard to know what's going to be popping next.
Yeah, no, I think what's cool is Chill Guy was the first meme coin that I found out about from a friend that has zero crypto holdings, which
Oh,
I thought
really?
which I thought was really interesting. He actually had messaged me, "Hey, have you heard of Chill Guy?" Um, and that's when I first started looking into it. And I think that's one of the unique things that's going to happen this cycle is there will be a lot more of those chill guy type phenomenons where something gets popular outside of crypto, and then the meme coin kind of just like accelerates it to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Which in his particular case, which was interesting, is he found out about the chill guy meme because somebody had sent him the chill guy meme coin, right? So yeah, so I think there's going to be a lot of that like back and forth, and
So he actually heard about the meme through the coin
good
first.
point. Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
So they flipped it's no longer just like tokenized attention. It's the coin is the attention.
Yeah, and I think you're going to get a lot of that back and forth. I think there's going to be, memes that become popular in outside of crypto world that are originated in crypto. And then
Yeah.
I think you're like the vice versa, where there's a meme that's popular and outside of crypto world, and then a meme coin is created. And, we've seen that countless times. But I think that general dynamic is only getting started. And a big part of it is because it's so easy to deploy a meme coin on Solana. There's so many places to trade meme coins on Solana. So the actual product experience, I think, is ready, for that type of financial experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is too. And it's crazy to think. I can't see. Yeah, I guess you never know when the end of the cycle is, but I mean, this definitely seems like the beginning of the meme coin super cycle right now. I don't even know where we're going to be in a month or two, right? Like I feel like this has legs and is, I mean, Trump is
Yeah.
talking about Doge all the time. Elon Musk tweets it every other day. It's like this is top of the mind. They were talking about peanut for, a couple days there. That coin went to hundreds of millions of dollars in no time. It's like I don't see an end to it anytime soon, right?
Well, I've always felt like one of the biggest headwinds to crypto was that the US was against it. And now that's
Yeah.
changed. I think that is, obviously the market's really excited about that. And I do think there's a huge opportunity for the US to strategically position themselves to have crypto be, an innovation hub in the United States. So I'm super pleased with the way things, appear to be playing out. And I think it's gonna be a huge opportunity for builders here, the natural progression of the space. And yeah, what a night and day difference. You had like that a weird period over the past few years where, so many companies were talking about moving out of the United States, going to Dubai, going to Singapore, and to kind of have that switch where, you know, ideally we have the US be the place to build crypto companies. I think it's gonna be a huge opportunity for the country and for, everybody that's in the United States and even beyond, right? Because the US is a leader in terms of, policy, right? And if the US has
Yeah.
a favorable stance towards crypto, I think you'll start seeing other countries adopt that as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's been a tough couple of years where it's like, I've always been afraid to interact directly with a crypto exchange from like my checking account because I don't want my checking account to be shut down type thing, where crypto's always kind of been, in the gray area where it's been not necessarily legal. There will be lawsuits against some of the biggest players. Like, yes, there's scams, but there's scams, and anytime there's money involved in any different area, there's always some sort of scams. But the most legitimate actors, like Coinbase, I feel like they were, incredibly like they went by the book. Like they didn't grow as much as they could have in order to stay by the book, and they were still getting sued nonstop by the SEC. So then they flipped it around, they sued them, and I think that not even going to see that anymore, right? I think it's a whole new change. So I'm really excited about that. I mean, the lightening of the regulation just feels like a burden's off our shoulders, right? Like it's like we're not like the Wild West as much anymore.
I totally agree, and I think the the burden is off our shoulders, and then ideally it's almost like a complete change in framework where it's how do we actually accelerate crypto innovation and adoption in the US. Wait, I just want to ask you about this because it just came on my timeline. Did you see the Quant coin?
Oh yeah, I did. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, so I don't even the full story, I don't necessarily know. I know the kid launched a coin. It was like was it Gen Z Quant or something like that was what it was called?
Yeah, do you think it was legit, or do you think somebody was helping him behind the scenes?
I have no idea. I hope it was legit. I mean, it seemed pretty legit. Right?
It,
He bought $30,000 worth of his own coin. It went up a ton, and then he sold it on the stream, said F you, flipped everybody off. He made 20,000, said thank you for the 20 bandos, and then now the coin's worth like hundreds of millions.
it's right now it's at 33, but it's just such a funny meme. So, this one is very crypto specific. I don't know how long this coin lasts,
Yeah.
but now you have this whole narrative of, if this pumps to hundreds of millions, maybe even a billion, how much money that kid would have had.
Yeah.
I keep thinking about, I thought the kid was hilarious. I only saw like the last part of the clip. Um, but man, what an experience to go through as a teenager, right? Like,
Oh my God. Yeah.
is
Insane.
that not
Just
hilarious?
it's insane. Well, he was just live streaming directly on Pump Fund, right? So they have the stream, so you can just stream on there. Like, why would you stream anywhere else if you're a kid, I guess, you know?
He has to be the coolest kid at his high school today.
I mean, well, I think what happened after was people started like publishing. I think they like doxed his mom. I think he launched a
Oh,
coin saying that he was sorry, and then he did the same thing and sold it for another $12,000. I was following along like a meme coin chat, just like cracking up to it. I mean, and the picture of him flipping the camera
yeah, it's
off
it's
is
perfect.
like it's
It's
iconic.
gold. It's gold. Yeah,
Yeah, I want to
it's
frame it and
gold.
put it on my wall.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. I was wondering, is he gonna get grounded by his mom? And I'm actually probably not. He's what, 14 years old. He just made 30K in like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
You know, but yeah, that is like a perfect crypto story.
yeah. Oh man, it's insane. It's insane. But it's like, all right, that's not like what we want our kids doing necessarily. But I mean, I feel like gambling and like there's tons of other ways that you can spend your money in terrible ways where it's like this is like a somewhat better opportunity for a lot of them, right? Like if you're playing the lottery, like you're pretty much just like pissing your money away. Where it's
Yeah,
like there could be, people have strategies. There's like good ways that you can build a strategy, and I feel like there's like an insane opportunity right now for people that are getting into crypto. And that's what we're seeing right now with these coins that are going up, hundreds of millions of dollars in a couple of days. It's not crypto native people that are doing that, right? Like sure they're in these coins, but the reason why they're pumping so fast because it's people coming in from outside of crypto, right? That's outside money.
yeah. I think in general, people love gambling. And the most important thing is I do think, even remove the gambling component, I think trading meme coins is fun. And I
Oh
think it's
yeah.
just people have a fun time doing it. There's memes that are funny. Uh, there's like the social component around it, like the group chat component. Um, and obviously making money quick is fun as well. Obviously, in a lot of cases, people lose money, but in general, I think the overall concept is enjoyable, and I'm starting to see it become more and more like a video game.
Yeah.
That's why I, go back to Whale Watch. I think Whale Watch is a tool to help you excel in that video game. It's almost like getting like a super fast computer. If you're, gaming on the computer, you do that because you want to be more competitive. That's how I see Whale Watch in the realm of the video game, right? It's just a tool that you can apply while you're playing that's just going to make your win rate higher. And I do believe that because I think in general with meme coins, it's very important to be able to narrow the scope of where you're going to allocate, and Whale Watch does that in a very specific and strategic way. And I think that component alone just increases your win rate, right?
Absolutely.
If you're just looking at a pool of tokens that only the best meme coin traders in the market are buying, by default, that pool of tokens is going to have a higher win rate than just looking at, every token that's on, you know, one of these other like deck screener, right? Or just looking at everything that launches on Pump Fund, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on those other platforms, people could pay for ads, right? You can't
Yeah.
do that on Whale Watch, right? So, on deck screener, you can get to the top of the list or get highlighted on the list because someone pays for it. Like that's
Yeah.
not the case here. It's literally this is what whales are doing with their money, and these whales don't want to lose money, right? So if they're
Oh yeah.
making this, they're trying to win. So yeah, think that part of the tool is, really fantastic and goes back to this whole video game concept where, if you're going to play a video game, you want the resources and the necessary tools around you to help you win more often. And I think that's one of the tools for the meme coin video game.
100%, 100%. One of the questions that I had, and I'm not sure if this is like proprietary information or anything, but I wondered like, what's the criteria for the whales? Like, I'm sure that you guys have to apply like, all right, this is a set like number of rules, like what makes them, what qualifies them for a whale? Is that something you can talk about, or is that kind of like
Yeah,
hidden?
so a lot of it we're not sharing publicly for a lot of strategic reasons, but I can
Yeah.
give you some insight as to how it comes together.
Uh-huh.
So first and foremost, the to even be considered to be included on Whale Watch, the meme coin itself needs to be a popular, successful meme coin, with a high market cap, right?
Yeah.
The second thing is for the holders of that meme coin, we have a very specific set of rules that we look at. But the first rule is the person needs to hold a very large amount of the meme coin. So,
Okay.
we're not sharing the specifics, but like I will tell you, like it's very large, right? It's like kind of the amount where a person were to sell the meme coin, they're buying a house, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So they're like at the tippity top of the holder list, right? Um, then what we do is we actually built a lot of smart technologies that analyze the list. So before a new meme coin community, whale community gets introduced on the live app, we're
Mhm.
actually running it behind the scenes. And we have a really great system that basically takes out the wallets that we don't think are good signal. So we're running that for normally like 24 hours before we introduce it to the community. And then we have another system that is basically updating the list under that same framework every hour. So that list is very, very curated and is constantly being checked against our rules to remove wallets from that list that are bad signal. And there's a lot of reasons why some wallets would be bad signal. Um, we identified those reasons, and we've been running internal whale watch trading competitions at AssetDash, for the past month. So our team is
Kind
like,
of almost like testing it more and
yeah,
more to make sure. Yeah.
right. So we're building a really, really expansive and strategic data set with this information. So you're going to start seeing it get better and better over time, and you're going to
Mhm.
start seeing it, expand into a few um, unique categories or unique ways in which we format it. But yeah, that's just a general summary as to the overall process as to how those wallets are included.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. Yeah, because I guess just having a lot of one coin doesn't necessarily, mean that you're going to be making the best moves, especially when, for me, like when I hit a big one, it's like, all right, I'm going to spread this out and start gambling a little bit, but these are more wallets that you can expect to be, making good moves.
And we also, I'll give you one inside alpha. So like one of the things we do in that system is we eliminate ones that we have high confidence are bots, right? So for example, if one of these accounts is just a bot that sprays and prays on a ton of different pump fund coins, like there's no
Yeah.
reason to include that, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
if we feel like one is a bot that is trying to extract, arbitrage opportunities, like we remove that. What we're basically optimizing for on that list is we're fairly confident that we know every person on this list is a whale, a massive
Yeah.
whale. we know every person on this list has a prior successful trading history, and we know everybody on this list is a human. And I think
Yeah.
that those are like the main things we want to optimize for. And like that's what's been leading to the best signal. And that's why what's sick about Whale Watch is with the way the system runs, and we actually haven't publicized this that much, and maybe we should, but every day it gets better. That's what's cool about it. It's like every day it's getting more filtered. So Whale Watch a month from now is going to be 100x better than Whale Watch today. And I think Whale Watch today is already fantastic.
Oh, it's amazing. So you can kind of constantly improve on your own algorithms or your own filtering on, yeah. Oh man, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
sometimes somebody may, a whale may make a horrible trade
Yeah.
and they need to reduce size in other areas, and that may cause them to exit the list. So like the
Yeah.
list is basically becoming what we see as the pros of the space, and I think that's what's really exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. And one thing that I was thinking about, okay, so it's you guys have like your main app, right? So it's a really well done app. So I kind of feel like a lot of the like when you're dealing with a lot of these like different protocols, you have to like log into your Phantom wallet and then you have to go to a browser and then you have to load up a tiny little site on your phone and it's really clunky, right? And Apple kind of puts a lot of things in place to make that really hard intentionally. But you guys get around that. It's just a full-on easy, great app to use, right? Like it's its own app. It feels like a Web 2, like a normally run app, right?
I
Like I
really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. So it's something that we're always trying to get better.
yeah,
And yeah, we came into it with that goal of just like making it feel like a fun app to use. And I'm really excited because I know what we have coming up, and the app's going to continue to get better and better from a UX experience, more simple, clearer screens. So yeah, we're working with a lot of fantastic designers now.
mhm.
So we'll be reskinning some parts of the app, but I really appreciate that.
Yeah. And one part that I like too, so you have like your asset and your portfolio on one side, and then you go over to the Discover section, and then that's where you kind of keep it a little bit separate, and
Yeah,
that's where you can follow track the whales because I feel like especially with like the regulations that are lightening up, like I see myself holding a lot more of my money on chain. I use DeFi protocols for savings. I use like Lulo or, what Camino or whatever. It's like there's all these like great options where I'm comfortable getting 10% on stable coins, right?
yeah,
Like I'm fine doing that now, especially like I feel better now that there are less regulations for that. So I feel like a lot more of my assets are going to be on chain. So like a lot more of my mind share is going to be there. So like in my mind, it's like, all right, well, this is like my savings account here, and then let's scoot over to Whale Watch and let's have some fun, right? Like I feel like it kind of has both components of what I think are going to like explode in the next couple of months. And they're already exploding, right?
yeah. Yeah, no, I completely agree. And shout out Ludo. Ludo is awesome. But yeah, I agree. I think what's cool is, especially on Solana, is there's so many different things that you can do on chain now where I completely agree with you. I think majority of users by the end of this cycle are going to be entirely on chain, and that's a great thing.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I feel like especially with like the integration of stable coins, I feel like that's always been like pretty strong in Solana, where, even, you know, in this last administration, like I could still send USDC to Coinbase and get it into a bank account in a day or two. Like I
Yeah.
feel like that was always something that was really strong in Solana. So I see that getting a lot crazier on one side, but I also see, the legit use cases like also growing. Like I would imagine that we'll be spending USDC a lot more for like online purchases, right? It just makes sense, right? With how many people are using Solana and have money on chain, it's like why would you not just use some stable coins, right?
Yeah, totally agree. And that Stripe acquisition, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's definitely, Stripe runs internet commerce, so they're clearly making a move into stablecoins.
Yeah, and why not? I mean, if especially with how much money some of these meme coiners are making on chain, there's a lot of money to go around, and people are going to be spending it, right? So
Totally agree.
yeah, sounds good. Cool. So I wanted to go into the NFTs, but like I feel like I feel like the NFTs are I don't know what it's going to take to get them back. I feel like you guys NFTs have been great. You came out, so it was originally was Vanta Cards, right? That was the original NFT. I think I had one of those and then converted it to the PFP, which was Elements. And I don't even know when was that? Was that like a year ago or
That
something like that?
was a little before the start of summer, I believe.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, look, I think NFTs are going to come back.
I think
I
so
think
too.
it's going to be in 2025. I think the big issue with NFTs thus far has been meme coins have had so much success and have built such a reputation for getting people rich quickly
Yeah,
that participants feel that their capital is better allocated there than NFTs. And so far, that's been 100% correct, right?
yeah,
So, and look, in 2021, that wasn't the case, right? It was, people were making the money off of NFTs.
yeah,
So I do think NFTs are going to come back. And I think when they come back, it's going to be in a really strong way. And it will happen very quickly when it does happen, because all you need in this space is a few weeks where there's momentum, and then that momentum like carries itself. With us in particular, we're really confident and excited about elements. I think one, the people who do have elements now, they're getting immense utility from holding the element, whether it's through the gold loot boxes, the ability to earn that gold multiplier, the ability to have more portfolio syncs available to them on a daily basis and faster updates and things like that. So for us, where we see this going is, we want to get AssetDash to 1 million users a day. And I think that's something that's very possible. And I think when we do that, that's when we'll be in a position where we'll be able to, allow for more feature upgrades that are element related, right? And I think that's going to be really exciting when we're able to do that. But I do think the NFT market will turn around. All it's
yeah,
going to take is one or two new mints to come out and do really well, or one existing collection to come out and do really well. The issue right now is NFTs are directly competing with meme coins for capital.
yeah.
Directly.
And I mean, what I think they did, especially with like when Tensor came out, like you could trade, you could sweep floors, you could sell them all at once. Like we basically turned NFTs into meme coins, right? Like I think it was Kobe that said NFTs are just shit coins with pictures on them, right? And we pretty much turned them into that, right? So we made it like really, there was like no friction to actually make any trades. We kind of got rid of worrying about traits and, rares unless they were extremely rare. Um, but I think that that was kind of the direction that it's going. But I think that what you said is uh, really going to be like where NFT shine is like the utility side of it, right? Like there isn't utility in meme coins, right? And
Yeah.
especially, with something like Elements where you get a direct benefit to a lot of things in your app if you have the NFT. It's well worth it, right? Like there is like a direct reward for it, where I think it's those type of NFTs that I mean, well, your NFTs held its value fairly well too, but I feel like it's that's not only going to like showcase what NFTs can do, but that those are going to be the ones that kind of lead the next charge, I think. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
And I think what's crazy now is the market almost doesn't want utility, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the market in this stage does not want utility. So when you have something that has utility, it's almost bearish to a certain extent, but I think that changes over time.
yeah,
And I think at some point, the people who are making a lot of money on meme coins are going to look to, I think, I want to say diversify, but maybe look to take bets elsewhere. And
yeah,
it's just, I would be surprised if NFTs did not have some inclusion in this cycle
yeah,
in 2025. I'm fairly confident they will. And yeah, I'm excited for that to happen. And I think
yeah.
that would be like a really good thing for the space as well.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. And I think you guys are placed pretty well with your NFT. And then also when NFTs were popping off, it like you guys had the best tracker for, what I could follow, what I had, when something would go up. Because it's hard to keep track of everything. And I think before I used AssetDash, there really like wasn't too many options, right? Like you could go to the NFT marketplaces to track your portfolio, but it wasn't, I don't know, wasn't as good as what I wanted.
I love our NFT tracking. I think it's great. It's multi-chain, and would love NFTs to start running again
Yeah.
because you have a NFT collection. But I actually think it's one of the coolest parts of our product from a tracking perspective is the NFT gallery, the live prices, the ability to browse through them. So they'll make a comeback, and when they make a comeback, I'm happy because I think from a product perspective, we're definitely ready for that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I imagine that you guys are getting fully stress test right now with all the meme coins. Like I can't imagine because I mean a lot of different sites and apps like have gone down. Like I mentioned I use Bullx. It'll go down every now and then because it's being overused, right? Like even the Phantom wallet has gone down a couple times because it's just being overused. So you guys are definitely being stress test right now with all of
Sure.
these meme coins and everything, right? I'm sure that you have a lot more stories on how you've been able to like keep it up and keep it running because it's a lot. It's overwhelming, right?
Yeah, we've definitely had some downtime, but we try to get it up real quick and make it
Yeah,
fix itself as fast as it can.
yeah. And it's degens like me just like
Yeah,
refreshing overall.
especially with Whale Watch, a lot of people refreshing there and people sinking because they're doing trades, but it's a great problem to have.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds good. Man, that's cool. Well, I'm excited about where this is going. Like, what do you think? Like, what's like your most radical prediction for the Solana ecosystem as things get crazier, right? Like I didn't really see meme coins getting this crazy, right? What do you see coming up?
Um, well, I think there will be a Solana ETF approved pretty early in 2025.
Really?
Um, yeah, I think that'll see significant demand or I think the demand will probably surpass the demand for Ethereum,
Okay.
being that Solana's metrics now are so strong. Um, Honestly, I think nothing really out of the norm. Just I do believe Solana is the chain that is going to be most used by retail and new participants coming into the space, and that's really a fantastic place to be because it's such a great network, as I said, great builders, and right now it's just about offering the best experience across the board from all the products. And when somebody new comes into the space and they start interacting on Solana, there's so many different things that you can do, right? And it's the speed of development is out of control. If you look at where we were, just a year ago compared to now, there's so many new products. The products have all gotten better. So I think everything just stays the course. Solana continues to grow, continues to see more users, more institutional adoption once the ETF comes out. So I think overall, the chain and the ecosystem is in a fantastic place.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too. I feel like the people that reach back out to me are the people that were interested in crypto, 4 years ago or so, but they haven't really done anything since. And now when they come back, they're like, "Oh, what do I do? I'm on Coinbase. What should I buy?" It's like, well, actually, just download a Phantom wallet because you can actually use a wallet now,
Yeah,
right? Like a lot of this stuff was not that usable a few years ago, right? So I think Solana really kind of set the bar on that. Now it's really reaping the benefits, right?
totally agree.
Sounds good. Best prediction for how long the meme coin super cycle lasts.
Um, so I think it's going to run definitely through 2025.
Yeah.
Um, I think if there is like a bear market or well, when eventually when if when it will, you always have the if because of the super cycle, but
Yeah.
when the market cools down, obviously there's going to be pullbacks across the board, like what
Yeah.
happens all the time. Um, but I am optimistic that the general concept of meme coins and this the way they're kind of interacting with different social dynamics, I think that's here to stay. Now, there will be huge bear markets. A lot of meme coins will go to zero. A lot of meme coins will, 1,000x before they go to zero, right?
Yeah.
So I think obviously it's a very volatile space, but I do think the overall concept of meme coins is here to stay. And look at Doge, right?
Yeah.
It's here to stay. And I think it's going to continue to evolve, the way in which people trade them, the way in which they're launched, the way in which communities are formed around them. So I would say in the short term, I would expect that the cycle lasts through the duration of this bull market, right? As long as, Bitcoin is going up, and Solana is going up, that tends to be, strong for meme coins. At some point that will stop. And when that stops, I think everything will obviously retrace. But I think the overall concept of meme coins being a fun game to play, I don't think that's going anywhere, right? I think it's at least in the moment, I feel like it's proven itself that people enjoy it. And everyone I know in this space now does some sort of meme coin trading, right? And it doesn't need to be with a lot of money, right? I think a lot of people, they kind of see it as a substitute for sports betting to a certain
Oh
extent.
yeah.
And some people see it as something that they want to put their full portfolio in. And some people see it as something that, they can do like longer duration swing trades. But I think there's something for everybody. And at the end of the day, it's doing its job of, stress testing the network. It's leading to new innovations in different products. And I think most importantly, without a doubt, it appeals to retail investors, non-crypto people. I think that's really important.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, as everyone is more and more internet native, like it seems to just be making sense to the younger generation, right? We're talking about a 14-year-old kid making $30,000. I mean, it's something that I don't know how else you would be able to do something like that, right? Like, yeah, that's insane. Yeah, I kind of feel like it's out of the box, and it's something that I like. Maybe there will be smaller cycles, but I have a hard time thinking it's going away. Um, and I mean, something else like even, meme coins is one part, but I think crypto in general, I think that we're crossing like into a whole new age where it's like I don't think we're coming back from it. Like I feel like a lot of like the protocols and what we're seeing, like I use crypto every day, right? Like my phone carrier is crypto native, right? Like I use Moonwalk every day to make sure I walk 10,000 steps. Like I feel like there's so many things that are like just like in my daily life now where none of that stuff was possible before, right? Like I feel like all these new apps and all these new different developments, like they're making sense, right? Like it's here.
For sure. No, it's night and day difference now compared to like a year ago. And yeah, I think the space is in a fantastic spot. Now it's just continue to execute.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I love what you guys have built and really appreciate your time here. Let's see. Um, where can people reach out? Where can people find you and tell us a little where they can find Asset Dash?
For sure. So on X at AssetDash, website assetdash.com. Highly recommend you use one of our two mobile apps, Android or iOS. If you have any questions, as we discussed earlier, we have in-app customer support. You can access it either in the mobile app or on web. And then we always are checking our Twitter DMs. So if you want to send us a DM there, totally fine. And yeah, give it a spin. We love hearing back from members with feedback, questions, anything. Like, do not hesitate to reach out at all. And I think all of you will love it. So I appreciate you having me on the show. This has been awesome. We should definitely do it again. And hopefully everyone starts, tracking these whales, having big trades. And I think it's a great time in the market to be active.
Yeah, really appreciate you coming on. Great talking. I will definitely be on your platform, checking out where the whales are, and I'll be making some money. So really appreciate it. Keep up the good work. And yeah, let's definitely do this again sometime.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Take
All
care.
right. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Solana Weekly. I have one final ask for you guys. If you could, please subscribe on whatever player you're listening to. You could leave a review. That would be amazing. If you want to shill me your bags, work for them. But yeah, really appreciate it. And as always, this is not financial advice, but I want you guys to accelerate, move forward, and let's get this bag. I'll catch you guys next week.